go, Libra. So here is your reading. So first up, you have the Moon. Then you have the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles in your reversed challenging position. And then for your recommended, like, what action should you take or what should you do, you have the Hanged Man. Okay, so now, I think this is very interesting. You know what? Because the two queens to me are very, very positive cards. But I think you're having a little bit of a moment. So the Moon, I feel like the Moon for me in this reading is more of your past, recent past position. Now this recent past could be kind of, last week, it could be yesterday, whenever you're watching this video. It could be a few months ago, whatever this pertains to. But the Moon is all about having like some type of insecurity, not seeing things clearly. It could be about deception, illusions, fear, anxiety. It represents there's things beneath the surface that you don't see, and because it's a major arcana, it's a little bit of a larger picture scale of things. So there was something I feel that was causing you some anxiety. There was some things that were out of your control, and maybe you couldn't really see exactly what was going on, and it was causing you some kind of stress. Things are happening, you don't entirely know what's happening, but something's happening, and it was giving you maybe a little bit of a stress, and there was things that were hidden from you. But with the Queen of Cups, I really feel like the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles in this reading is your energy. I really think that whatever this was, it made you have to be more caring, more compassionate. It really made you, maybe this Moon situation was happening to a friend or family member where they were going through something. It was kind of a little bit of a worrisome time for them, and you had to really be in this energy of being caring and compassionate and really kind of being that emotional support system for them, because I really feel like this is kind of like you in a little bit. And this is about trusting your intuition as well and leading with your heart and not your head. So like, for instance, with the Moon, sometimes you have to you can't see, so your brain can't really make the rational decisions or the most logical decision for the situation because you don't see the whole situation, but you'll have these gut feelings that's what you need to pay attention to. But I feel like you've been kind of maybe doing that. Maybe you've been kind of going off of emotion or intuition a little bit, but you've been in this kind of caring and compassionate role. And I think like the Queen of Pentacles is in your near future. Like it could be happening. Sometimes these things blend a little bit. So I feel like she's very practical. She's very practical. I love the Queen of Pentacles. She's super practical. Like she makes everything work. She'll figure out a problem. She'll solve any kind of problem in the most practical, simplistic way ever. Like she's very clever with that. But she's able to take, even if she doesn't have a lot of something, she's able to make it work. She's able to make it really kind of spread out as wide as she can or as far as she can. So she's really good with that. So I feel that you kind of you're encompassing both these queens' energy. I think that you're being very, very compassionate and caring, and you're this emotional stability, but also you're like the practical stability as well in the situation. I think you're almost like in your forte a little bit at the moment. I feel like you're really kind of taking on, if there's some problems coming your way, you're really able to resolve them fairly easily, confidently, and just skillfully. And now with the reversed Four of Pentacles, this could indicate you're spending too much money, but because she's so practical, I don't think that's really the case. I think, see, the Four of Pentacles in reverse, it could say that you're spending too much money. It could represent you're being too greedy, like you're trying to get money at all costs. Or it also could kind of be like you're realizing the things around you are not exactly they don't make you happy. Maybe certain views or material things that you've always wanted, maybe you've achieved them, and you're realizing, well, they're just things after all. Because I really feel like you're kind of going through this like really compassionate, emotional level and this practical thing. And sometimes when you reach these queen levels mentally, you see things a little bit differently. Like you have everything, but you realize that, you know what? When I was coming up, I thought it was going to be like this, or having this item was going to make me feel like this. And then when you get that item, you're like, you know what? It's just an item. Actually, it didn't really it wasn't as satisfying as it could have been in a sense. So I think you've I don't want to say you've kind of grown or leveled up mentally, but I feel like, I wonder if whatever this Moon situation that I believe this could have been something that you went through was very stressful or anxiety, I feel like it made you kind of level up mentally in a sense where you kind of maybe grew in a way, and now the things around you, you're realizing some of them are not as important as maybe you once thought they were. Like, for instance, if you want a fancy car, and you always wanted this fancy car, and you always felt, oh, if I have this fancy car, it's going to make me so happy. I'll feel like I've achieved success. I'll be so happy with the fancy car. Then you wind up getting the fancy car, and then it's like, you know what? It's just a car. It feels the same. It feels nice, but it kind of does the same thing your old car did. So I feel like, so then you kind of start re-seeing that or reevaluating some of these ideologies or things that you want in a different way. So I kind of feel like that might be what's actually happening here. And with the Hanged Man, he's all about seeing things in a different perspective, taking a break, pausing, and seeing things from a different perspective. And I wonder if, because if you're in this Queen of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles energy, like kind of this emotional support, and then she's also like the financial support as well for other people. Like, she could be the breadwinner of the house. She's really the one that, these two energies, they're kind of doing things for other people a lot. They're the ones, the go-to people. When you have a problem, you go to them, you know? So if you're a mom or whatever, like, this is you. So I feel like this could be saying that you're doing so much for other people as well. And then you're almost like maybe not the things that you once really thought were valuable, you might be reassessing it, which might not be a bad thing. Sometimes I think it's actually a good thing to realize certain things have less value in the long run or in this larger scheme of things than you might have thought. But I think like this Hanged Man here being like, you got to see things from taking a break, see things from a different perspective. So maybe like whatever you're doing here, you got to like just take a moment. You know, I feel like you're really having this like enlightening moment. To me, this is kind of like you're having an enlightened moment. And I think this Hanged Man is actually it's just kind of going into this very easily. So I feel like you will be kind of, and I wonder if this Hanged Man is kind of what's spurring this reevaluating of your items. Because this could also be you deciding to clean house. You're deciding like, I got to declutter. Maybe you're like, I can't live like this. I have to change things going forward. So I think that you having this kind of Hanged Man is really kind of putting everything into more perspective than what you might have had before. And it's kind of giving you that more clarity. Because I think with the moon, there was a period of very uncertainty, and I think like you came out of that personally. I think you came out of that very well and very maturely, and I think you're having this like real kind of awakening or clarity moment happening, and I definitely think you need to just let it happen, because I think this is definitely going to be something very good for you. So because sometimes you have these moments and you start thinking things in a different way, and it just sometimes it re-energizes you as well. So I think that's fantastic. Now, you had a lot of oracle cards come out for you guys, so let me just get started. So you have travel. Long distance communication will open up your life, exciting experiences for singles, and career advancement for others. So some of you might actually be traveling. So that's exciting, or having some kind of long distance. Maybe there's somebody a long distance wise that you're going to be talking to again or going to see. Future. You may travel or host an overseas traveler soon. Either way, great social fun awaits. See, now you got another card kind of to do with travel. So, and this is about socializing and everything. So I definitely think you guys might be, you know what, but this Hanged Man here, maybe you guys have always worked very hard, but then you're realizing like, maybe I don't want all this stuff, or I want to move somewhere more remote, more secluded or something. And you're having this enlightened moment where I just want to live off the land and go to one of these places that are just completely their own little houses. They're not actually connected to anything. They have generators for electricity or whatever. It could just be even like a total life-changing moment for you that you're having. So, but I think this with the social fun awaits, I definitely think you're going through kind of like a interesting time right now, which is nice. Okay, twists and turns. Carefully made plans could be thrown out the window as major changes and interruptions surround you. Make sure you get lots of rest to cope with all the upheaval. And I feel like that could be some of the residue from the moon. Sometimes things blend a little bit, so it could be some kind of things are kind of coming to light. I don't want to say screwing things up, but sometimes you gotta handle things as they go. And maybe that's a little bit what's going on with this Four of Pentacles. Something unforeseen is making you look at it differently. Then you have Society. Say yes to all the wonderful invitations coming your way. Excellent networking opportunities and new love interests for singles will be the result. I definitely feel like you have some kind of social aspect happening. However it is, you have definitely some socialization going on. Wisdom. To focus on the past is to lose the future. Heed advice from an older person, which will allow you to move on. So maybe for some of you, maybe this Queen of Cups could be a figure in your life who is very nurturing to you, and it's just saying that, you know, you want to listen. If they have good advice, they have good advice. Okay, so let's continue. You got express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. So it could be a little, you know, romance in your life. But this, I feel like, is also going with the Queen of Cups because she's really about expressing love and everything. So I feel like this is going with this energy that I do think you guys have, where you're in a loving phase or you're just in a very caring phase. So I think you need to continue with that because that's super healing, and I think that's really, really nice. So chemistry, there's a strong magnetic attraction here, which is super exciting. And I think this could be that whatever moment you're having with this Hangman, it really could be something that's really meant for you. So sometimes, you know, these are the romance cards, but sometimes I read beyond that. I think that whatever you're doing, I feel like it's going to actually be very beneficial to you. So in a sense, you're gonna have chemistry for it with it because it's meant for you. So I think that's fantastic. So I'm gonna stick the chemistry over here. New love. A new person has shared your romantic feelings, which is super exciting. So I definitely think there's going to be some partnership potentially coming your way. Even if it's a friendship, it doesn't always have to be romance. It could be like a really nice friendship or some type of partnership in however. Now, you had got this twice. I have 2 decks put together. So you got 2 codependency cards. So it says codependency. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. So now, because you got 2 of these codependency cards, and you also have 2 of the Queen cards, I wonder if a little bit some of you might be the mother hen. You might be that. You know, you might be a little bit, I don't want to say overbearing because I don't mean it in a bad way, but you might be in a very protective mode, especially if you're coming off of a moon feeling where there was uncertainty, anxiety, you're not really sure how things are going to happen, and you had to kind of kick it into overgear a smidge and be this like nurturing, financially stabilizing force for your family or yourself or whoever. You can kind of get into a cycle a little bit of being stuck in that codependency. Now they're really dependent on you solving the problems or helping them out, and now you kind of enjoy that, so now you're dependent on doing that for them, so you kind of get into a little bit of a cycle. So I think if you are experiencing that, you might need to evaluate if you are kind of dependent on anything and how is it affecting you. So I'm going to put those 2 right here. Just be mindful of that, you know. But that also could be why that you're having the Hangman moment of seeing things in a different light. So I think you might actually wind up recognizing if there's any kind of problem and just shifting gears a smidge. Then you got children. Your love life is being affected by children. And I wonder if because you have 2 of the Queen cards, I wonder if some of you know, have kids, and, you know, some of this, maybe this codependency could represent, you know, the children, your babies. So I'll put that kind of next to the codependency because that's what, you know, parents do. Anyway, so let's continue. So you got, if you want to fly, give up everything that weighs you down, and opportunities may knock only once, but temptation leans on all the doors. So I feel like this is kind of going with this Hangman moment. I think both of these go with this Hangman feeling a little bit. You might be seeing something in a different light, including with this 4 of Pentacles, and I think it's going to be very helpful for you. But I think it's reminding you to push forward with it. Like if you have a new way of thinking, or you think you're going to go about something in a different way, I think it's saying, you know, then implement it. Because I definitely think you have some I think this is a major change for you. It might not be like so revolutionary, but I think it's change in a really positive way, even if it's like streamlining something. So I think it's definitely something that you don't want to let fly by. So that's what I got that for that. And then you guys got agate, get back into balance. And this definitely could be from this moon energy, if things were really kind of worrisome for a period, and now you're kind of all in this energy of maybe taking care of other people with these two queens. It might be reminding you that you need to kind of you need to balance some things out, especially kind of with the two codependencies and everything, and with the children. I'm not saying it is your kids that are the problem, but for some people, they're your babies. You gotta, sometimes things kind of get a little shifted out of whack a little bit. So just kind of balance things out, and I think that's going to be good. So, and then you have werewolf, exploring wilderness. So this card represents kind of having to have like this is actually about balance as well. It's about balancing like your natural self with like your world around you. So your desires and everything with the world around you, in a sense, because like I guess the werewolf, he's like kind of a half wolf, so he's like kind of like I mean, we're all part of nature, but I guess he's like a part of nature, and then he's a person as well, so he's like a part of like people. So it's kind of like a duality thing. You need to always be aware of what you really want or what your real desires are, and you have to balance that with what you're actually doing in your everyday life, in a sense. So take that how that works for you guys. Okay, Libras, think of your question. We're going to ask the Magic 8 Ball in a second, but first, let's find out what spirit of the dish shall be with you guys in the upcoming week. And you guys got the spirit of the King of Manes, which is the big steak. So you got the big steak, guys. Okay. Then let's see what dinner and a movie is recommended for you. So what dinner and a movie is recommended for my Libras. Okay, so you got seafood and thriller. There you guys go. And then, let's see. Okay, so you got V, T, H, E, C, D, B, and you got 6 and 6. So you got 2 6s there. And then okay, so these ones came out. So you got nurture, passion, and love. So look at that, guys. Look at that. Let's see. I feel, where am I putting this? I mean, love has to go on the Queen of Cups because she's all about love. In fact, she's all 3 stones. So she's loving, she's nurturing. I'm going to put the nurture. We're going to have this queen have something too, because she's nurturing too, but she nurtures in like a practical way. She's always making sure that her family's taken care of, or whatever she's doing is being taken care of. So love is going to go on the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Pentacles gets nurture, and passion. Let's see. I mean, passion really got to go on the Queen of Cups as well. So I'm going to put passion in between these 2 queens, because I do feel like they are passionate in their own way. They're passionate about helping others and keeping things, making sure people are okay and everything. So that's where I'm putting those guys. Okay. Think of your question, Libras, and here we go. Oh, mystical, magical 8 Ball, the mightiest ball of all the balls in the world. What is the answer to Libra's question? It says, outlook good. Got outlook good, guys. So the 8 Ball has spoken. Okay. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.